27-year-old Mohammed Rifai was paraded for the media in an orange prison outfit.
What happens when paradise becomes a playground? In recent years, a troubling trend has emerged. American and European influencers traversing Asia, not as respectful visitors, but as disruptive forces. Their actions, often driven by the pursuit of viral content, have led to cultural insensitivity, legal troubles, and strained relations with local communities.
The police can't stop me. The government can't stop me.
Take, for instance, Johnny Somali, an American live streamer known for his provocative behavior. His antics in Japan and South Korea, including trespassing on construction sites and playing loud music in restaurants, have resulted in multiple arrests and legal actions.
I am Johnny Somali. I am part of the criminal nuisance live streamer gang called CX that have came to Japan to bring you freedom, to bring you American values. You weak cats will never stop us.
You will never stop CX. You will never stop Johnny Somali.
In South Korea, he faces charges for causing public disturbances, highlighting the consequences of such disruptive behavior. Similarly, Mikhailo Viktorovich Polyakov, a 24-year-old American YouTuber, was arrested in India after illegally entering North Sentinel Island, a protected area home to the isolated Sentinelese tribe. Despite strict prohibitions, he attempted to make contact with the tribe, leaving behind a can of Diet Coke and a coconut. His actions not only violated Indian law, but also posed significant health risks to the tribe, who have no immunity to common diseases. These incidents are not isolated. In Bali, the influx of tourists has led to environmental degradation. The Indonesian government has responded by implementing stricter regulations, including a moratorium on new hotel construction and the introduction of a tourist tax, aiming to mitigate the adverse effects of over-tourism. I'm Gray BTC. I've traveled around the world for over 10 years and visited more than 30 countries. In this video, we'll delve into the impact of such behaviors on Bali, exploring how the actions of a few are affecting the many. Like and hit that subscribe button, it helps me tell more real stories like this. You've now clearly seen that many American tourists come to Asia and disrespect the people, the culture, and the land. But no place has taken more damage slowly, quietly, than Bali. This small island in Indonesia wasn't always a global hotspot. For centuries, it lived in rhythm with its own traditions. Unlike most of Indonesia, Bali kept its unique blend of Hinduism, ancestor worship, and animist rituals. Every home had a shrine. Every day began with offerings. Nature and spirit were inseparable. That balance lasted for generations until the outside world came knocking. In the 1930s, Western artists and photographers discovered Bali. They described it as a utopia. That image stuck. By the 1970s, after Indonesia opened its doors to global travel, Bali's tourism era officially began. First it was surfers, then backpackers, and then the world. Flights got cheaper, and suddenly, Bali was no longer just a place. It became a lifestyle brand. The island adapted. Rice fields were flattened for resorts. Temples shared fences with beach clubs. The economy grew, but slowly, the culture strained. I've been to Bali. I didn't go there as a tourist chasing luxury. I went to live. I stayed in simple villas with quiet charm. I spent my days on beach runs, tennis courts, and bike rides through backstreets. I saw the beauty, not the one sold online, but the one lived by locals every day. And I also saw what was being lost. Because this island, once revered for its stillness, is now drowning in noise. Not just the traffic, but the noise of entitlement. And it didn't happen overnight. This was a slow trade, culture for currency, identity for influence. But this was never supposed to be the trade: peace for popularity, respect for reach. And that brings us to the real question: why is Bali breaking? When I was in Bali, everything looked fine on the surface. The beaches were still beautiful. The ceremonies were still happening. The food was still good. But the more time I spent there, the more I saw a pattern. Bali is attracting people who don't come to understand the island, but to use it. Over the years, it's been branded as a place for healing, the kind of destination where you escape the West, reset your life, and find peace. But what happens when thousands of people come here hoping to be healed and never change? They end up damaging the same place they claimed would save them. We've seen the results. Tourists stripping naked at temples, others climbing sacred trees, laughing during prayer ceremonies, or filming yoga content in holy sites. These are not isolated cases. In recent years, Hundreds of foreigners have been deported from Bali for public indecency, drug possession, and outright disrespect for local laws. Many of them are influencers, with audiences in the millions. What drives this is a deeper issue: entitlement, the belief that Bali exists to serve them, that their idea of freedom matters more than the customs that built the island. But this isn't a theme park. It's a living culture. And with more foreign money flooding in, the landscape is changing fast. Local land is bought and sold. Villas rise where rice fields once stood. Quiet towns become noisy party hubs. What was once sacred is now commercial, and many locals are being pushed to the sidelines. I had my routines while I was there: simple villas, beach workouts, bike rides, and tennis. And even in those quiet moments, the change was obvious. Bali still looks beautiful, but something deeper is being lost. And the question now is, how much more can it take? When the island pushes back. For years, Bali tolerated more than it should have. Tourists came, made mistakes, crossed lines, and locals kept smiling. Because for many families, tourism wasn't just income, it was survival. So even when sacred sites were disrespected, even when outsiders mocked customs or treated Bali like their playground, the response was quiet. But that silence is starting to fade. More and more locals are pushing back, not with anger, but with boundaries. Some are reporting bad behavior online. Others are confronting tourists directly in the streets. And yes, fights have broken out. What many visitors don't realize is that a lot of Balinese grow up trained in martial arts. They're calm, spiritual people, but they're not defenseless. When pushed, they respond. And it's not just individuals. The island itself is shifting. Over 200 foreigners were deported last year alone, many for acts that would have once gone unpunished. Now, temples are guarded, dress codes are enforced. Some areas can't be entered without a licensed guide. There's even a tourism tax now, not to discourage travel, but to protect the island from being overwhelmed. Local leaders are speaking out more. Some openly say that they no longer want more tourists. They want better ones, people who come with respect, not entitlement. And that message is starting to spread. Because Bali is not passive, it's resilient. It has always found ways to protect its spirit, even when the world changes around it. Now, that spirit is pushing back. Bali is still one of the most beautiful places on Earth, but beauty alone can't protect it. What it needs now is respect, not fewer visitors, but better ones. If we keep treating sacred places like content backdrops, we'll lose them. If you value stories like this, hit subscribe. It helps me, Grey BTC, keep telling the truth about what's really happening in the world.